Hi everyone, my name is Akshaya and I'm a nature and animal communicator, which means I can speak to plants, animals and other species telepathically. In this video, I want to share with you and talk to you more about landscape communication. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is it that you can actually ask landscapes? So with animals, you can ask them about their routines, their likes and dislikes, their favorite activities. You can ask them about their relationship with their humans and their family members, how they feel in the house, etc., etc. But what is it that you can ask landscapes? And so here I am today discussing some questions you can ask landscapes so that you can have beautiful conversations with them. So the first thing I do is I usually begin with self introduction. So like you would with any other human being or an animal, introduce yourself before you start speaking. Even with landscapes, I start with introducing myself, telling them my name. I also tell them how much I am in awe of them, how I have come to talk to them, if it is them who has attracted me towards them, or it is because I am coming there for some work and hence I am having a conversation with them before I reach. So whatever my intentions are of the conversation, I tell them and begin with a little self introduction, which kind of helps bring, kind of helps with the rapport building with the landscape. The next thing I do is I ask them how they are doing. So, like we would in any other conversation, I ask the landscape how it is doing and how it is feeling and how are you is what I ask the landscape. The next thing I ask the landscape is if there's anything they would like to share with me, if there is any wisdom that they would like to share with me, and if there is any message that they have for me. Usually these are very important personal messages that I receive from these landscapes, and at most times they are very specific to a certain situation that I am going through at that point in time. And I've also noticed that I am drawn to a certain landscape more so because that landscape wants to give me guidance over something that I am going through at that point in time. So these are very important personal messages, and of course they will differ from person to person and situation to situation. The next thing you can ask the landscape is the journey the landscape has had, how long it has been there, what changes it has seen around, what they feel about the environment that they live in, how have they contributed to that environment, and how is their environment contributing to them. That's a very interesting thing to learn from a landscape. The history and the background, it could be the geography, it could be the culture about the place that they are, the landscape that they are, and there is so much we can learn from this conversation. It's an interesting it's an interesting piece of information that they share with us. So do ask the landscape about their history and how they have contributed to their environment and vice versa. And finally, I usually wrap up the conversation by thanking the landscape for talking to me, and I also very often ask them specific questions that I need to know from the landscape about a certain situation that I am going through in my life, be it a professional situation that I am in or a personal. I often ask the landscape that what could I do to make this situation better for me, and I have always received very beautiful, very specific answers from the landscapes. And once that is done, I thank them for being kind enough to be talking to me, for allowing me to be in their space, whether it's telepathically or whether it's physically. So I show them the gratitude and close the conversation. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and after watching it, I really hope that you go and speak to a landscape, and whatever experience you have had, please don't forget to comment in the comment section below so we can have a conversation and a discussion over it.